The first time I found out about Little Peep, I think it was, I think I was like scrolling through the Instagram Explore page or something, and I kept seeing this kid with fucking pink and black hair and with tats and like all that, and I was just like, I don't know, I just thought he was like one of those like fucking, wow, like another IG kid or whatever the fuck. And I just kept seeing him over and over again, so I decided to click on his fucking profile, and I was like, but for real though, this kid's fucking cute. And I don't know, I just thought he was really attractive. Like, there was just something that compelled me to him. So yeah, that's one of the first things I remember, just constantly seeing him on my Instagram. And then I think one day I was just going to this deep YouTube music thing, and I found gym class. What the fuck? Ugh! My face is so itchy. I want to scratch it, but I'm not wearing powder and it's like really greasy. Okay. So, okay. That's annoying. I clicked on the video and I was just like amazed. It was such a nostalgic video. And like the melody and just everything was so and then I just remember watching it over and over again, and I was just so encased by it. I don't know. And then like I finished the video, and then I think I realized it was the same kid that I kept seeing on Instagram, or maybe I kept seeing him on Instagram, and then it finally made me search him up, and I found him in class, and I was blah with it. I don't know. It's annoying because I can't remember, but that's kind of the story. And then I just started finding other music from him, and on YouTube, just other videos. I only listened to him from YouTube and just anything that I found on YouTube. I didn't really, surf SoundCloud or try any other thing. Found This Is How I See Things, 19, White Wine, I think Star Shopping, but I listen to that more now. Girls, obviously. This is all over the fucking place. But yeah, and I found his stuff, and I was just so... this rarely happens to me where I'm just completely, just utterly in love with someone, in a sense. And it happened with him. Like, I was just so fucking engorged by him. I'm following him on like everything. Just kept watching anything that he had on YouTube just over and over again. And I remember the first time, I remember like back then, literally I would search YouTube for, his interviews and stuff like that. And honestly, I think like out of the whole fucking site and just everything, there was only 3 interviews that I could find of him. And like in most of them, he was just either out of it or really, really shy or something. I don't know. But yeah. And because I followed him on Twitter, I remember he would constantly post really sad shit, I guess. I don't know. Like, he would... I don't know if they're deleted now, but I remember the first time I followed him, it would always be like, I want to kill myself. It would be just shit. Just a lot. I think most of his posts were deleted on his socials, or like he would delete them afterwards. I don't know what happened, but on Instagram he would constantly post like 5 times a day. I don't know, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but he would post a lot, just flexing his fucking clothes and shit, and just, blah. It'd be like the same outfit and like 5 different poses, and he'd like post after each other. Yeah, and then on YouTube it'd be all his music and his creations and that fucking deep shit. Listening to gym class, I mean, the melody was so there. I know he like sampled it, but he also made it his own thing in a sense. I mean, personally for me, I really fucking like his music. I think that he's so fucking talented, even though he says that he doesn't know what he's doing most of the time and that he's just, you know, twisting knobs and I remember one time he posted that he almost OD'd or something like that, and I replied, and I think I said something like, because it made me angry just because constantly on his socials he would be live streaming himself, I don't know, doing drugs and shit, and then on his Twitter he'd be all down and shit and saying that he wanted to fucking kill himself and all of that. It was an obvious cry for help and people saw that, I think. And they would reply to him and they'd tell him to get help, and made me kind of like just mad. I don't know. Okay, maybe he was crying for help, maybe he didn't want help, but it was, you know, if you're posting all of that, it's an obvious cry for help or attention. I mean, sometimes people are in such a dark place. I wish he could have also gotten help for himself. I don't know. Anyways, after all that, I guess I just unfollowed him on Twitter and just kind of had a falling out with. I just stopped following him. His energy, and I still vibed with him. I still listen to his music constantly. But after just all of that, yeah, I don't know. I wish that someone just grabbed him and just fucking put him in therapy or just get him help. But then again, you could do that for yourself and you don't need, you know, to constantly be crying out for help and letting people do that for you. You could do it for yourself if you know, he obviously knew what he was doing. And I don't know, I was watching one of his live streams and I remember it specifically because he was wearing this orange jumper and I thought it was a nice jumper, and he was like taking these pills which I thought was Tic Tacs for some fucking reason. Like, I thought it was just the orange Tic Tacs that he was just eating, but it turned out he was taking Xanax or whatever. It was just so out of it in all his live streams, and he was obviously self-medicating. And if he was self-medicating, then he knew that he had a problem. If you know that you have problems, and if you know that you have mental issues that need to be helped, then you can, but like, don't waste your time crying for help and waiting for other people to help you. Go help yourself. Go find something. Go heal yourself. You don't have to go anywhere. Just self-medicating isn't going to do anything. And it's like, do people not understand that? But I guess when you're in so much pain, you can't really, you just want it to stop. So I guess that's why people do it. It's the kind of instant response. And obviously drugs isn't going to do anything, because when you're on drugs and you take drugs, it's a hit of dopamine. Your dopamine levels go up, and then when you stop taking it, it goes back down. And then when you keep doing that over and over again, your body undercompensates because it realizes that, now you have all this dopamine, your body's going to stop making it. And then so when you crash, it's gonna be fucking hard. So this is your body making dopamine. It's that constant hit. And then when you're taking drugs, it goes up. So your body's like, whoa, like it feels good. And then obviously the first time when you do it, it's gonna be there, but then it's gonna go back down too. And when you constantly keep doing it, your body's just gonna be like, okay, well, I don't have to make anymore, so it goes down. So then when you're off the drugs, it just fucking plummets and you feel like fucking shit. And that's when addiction happens. You start feeling so fucking awful that you need it. Now you crave it and you have to have it. And in most cases, you need rehabilitating. I don't know if any of this shit makes fucking sense. Anyways, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anyone, you go through death in life and it's inevitable, and his death was inevitable. But I don't think anyone's death has affected me as much as his. I'm so fucking drained, I can't. I was cleaning my room the other day and I found this. So yeah, I was absolutely... I remember when he died, it was a strange day because things happened. But I was on Instagram and someone posted this video and the caption was like, last video of Peep alive or something like that. Last video of Peep. And I watched it and it was the video that Bexley filmed, and it was like, you know, oh, Lil Peep said he was doing push-ups, blah, 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 and he's actually in the bag sleeping or whatever. Kind of like a, you know, funny video you make with your friends. And in the video, when he panned on Peep, I just fucking knew, like, he looks so alive. I know he's a white kid, but fuck, he was pale. And his head was just back and his jaw was just gaping, and just... in that moment, I just fucking knew, like, he's fucking dead. And it hits you because it's like... when I look at Peep, I think, wow, like... he's such an expressive human being, and he just... you could see it on him, obviously, like all his fucking tats and the colours and just all of that. You could see it. And when you look at him, you know, you're like, oh, it's Pete. Like, he's so vibrant. And you would think if you saw a corpse of him, you'd think, oh my god, Pete, like, because he's such an individual. And then when I watched that video and I just saw his body there, it's weird, but it didn't look like him at all. I didn't see him there. It was almost as if his soul just left his body and that was just a casing. Just a cold exterior. I don't know, I just didn't see him there. And it was so obvious that he was gone. I think a day later, I saw another video and it was in the daytime and he was on the bus and it was someone else filming and they were like smoking a joint or whatever. And then they pan over to him and he's laying there in that same position. And then you put two and two together and you realize that he was in that position the whole fucking afternoon till that night. And he was just laying there dead. I mean, in the first video where there was light and he was laying in that position on the bus, there was still a little bit of colour to him. And then you see the one afterwards and he's just gone. You could tell that he's just gone. Some people have said that there's a bird. Look, there's a bird. Can't really see it, but it just... hello. Oh. Okay. It may have been Peep. Anyways. Don't know. But... yeah, I just feel like if you do drugs, then you should know what an OT looks like. Or even if you don't, seeing a dead body is so obvious, or seeing someone that's just fucking out of it is so obvious. People have said that, oh, he sleeps like that all the time, and yeah, I know people who sleep like that. You know, they sleep with their neck back and they look kind of fucking dead when they sleep. I was on a plane with my co-worker because we were doing a business trip, and we were lifting off, and then there was like turbulence or whatever, and it was like shaking. I look over at her to like laugh, you know, at the turbulence, and she was just fucking asleep, and her neck was just back, and like she looked like, you know, those people that sleep with their eyes open. It's so fucking creepy. Checked up on her, and yeah, I guess that's why they have neck pillows on planes and shit. But I mean, I just wish someone just fucking checked up with him. You see someone sleeping and they might be snoring or whatever. The thing is, you don't want to disturb them. You don't want to wake them up from their sleep. But it's just, he just looks so wrong in that position. Just, I mean, maybe like just give him a little nudge. You know, give him a pillow, put it behind his neck, and just check up on him. But for me, some people say that yeah, he was snoring and stuff. But the thing is, when you die or when you OD, your organs shut down, and his organs were obviously shutting down, and when you die, all the pressure in the air gets released from your lungs, and that's what they call a death rattle sometimes, when it's this croaking noise and it sounds like you're snoring, but it's just the air getting released, and it hits something in your vocals that makes a noise. So when they thought he was snoring, he was actually dead. Yeah. But obviously this isn't about that. I don't know, I don't think it was an intentional OD. I know that he's fucking depressed and shit, but I feel like, I don't know why, I just feel like at this point in his life he was happy, or I don't know, but so I like unfollowed all his stuff and I had a falling out with him, but it was probably a day or two before he's passing. I just got this thought, like, little bit, and so I went on his Instagram, I checked up on him, just, you know, seeing what he's doing and stuff like that. Seemed like he was doing good and stuff. Found out I was dating someone new, and I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, because, I don't know, no offense, Pete, but your choices in women, those certain women, I mean, all the fucking girls that dated him are such fucking thoughts. They're just LA thoughts who want to find a fucking alt boy that they could cling on to. And it's like, none of them really, you could just tell that none of them really cared for him. And it hurts because I just feel like he's such an emotional human being, and he's such a gentle soul. You can't reduce a complex life like that to a lesson. He was so much more, and you could see that. I thought I strayed away from him because it gave me this awful feeling sometimes. There was energy to him, and he was just such a brilliant soul, and you could see that. And he was just so himself, and he just didn't care. And it makes me so angry because it was, usually when people pass, it's hard, it is. And then in the end you have to kind of get over, or not get over it, but you understand it, and then time heals it, and I don't know, they pass. You have to go on and stuff like that. I just feel like with him, it wasn't his time. Like, you get that with people passing, you're like, oh no, it's fucking sad. But with him, I don't know why, it just doesn't feel like it was right. It just feels like so wrong. I don't feel like it was his time. And honestly, I truly don't think it was a suicide. He obviously took Xans, but they were laced with fentanyl, and like the smallest fucking amount of fentanyl. Like just a dot of it. That stuff is fucked, and fuck that bitch who fucking gave it to him, because he was so trusting of people, which is something that was so, it was such a beautiful characteristic of him, to be so loving of others and so trusting and open to them. that is obviously also a negative, because you can't be too trusting of people. And I feel like because he was so gentle with others and loving, that in a sense it allowed them to trample over him and hurt him, and it makes me so angry at those people. I felt like he was going to tour this year, 2018, and even though we had a falling out, I wanted to see him. I wanted to see him live, and I wanted to meet him and hug him and tell him all these things. And it makes me so angry that I didn't do it sooner, that I didn't just message him on one of his socials and maybe see if he'd reply back. It makes me so angry, because there was just so much love that I wanted to give him and let him know. It was just so clear in my mind that I was going to see him someday, and I was going to meet him and tell him that. In a sense, him being gone, although it brought a lot of people to his light, I just feel like it wasn't his. There's just something to him that is so pure that you rarely see anymore. And it just, I don't know. There's so much I want to say and so much I want to, I don't know, I just can't find the words right now, and it's been a while. It's been a little bit, I don't know, it's something that just makes me want to make this video and just say my feelings out. Maybe I'll post this, maybe I just wanted to say my feelings and just let it out. There's so much I want to say, and just all of that. Such a brilliant human being that was taken way too fucking 21. I mean, he's done all of that at 21, and you can't say that, you know, he hasn't accomplished anything, because he is just, there's so much more time for him. And even though he didn't get to live that time, he's still, in the short time that he's been here, has left a legacy. And a lot of people say that time heals everything, and over time it will get better, but I just feel like it gets worse, because every single day is further away from the time that he was alive. And although he will never be forgotten, it just feels like I don't know if that even makes sense, but it just feels like you're so far away from the time he was alive, and it just feels wrong. And just like, rest in peace, little Pete, little Bo Peep. Thank you for everything that you have given all of us. He's seriously a beam of fucking light. I just wish he was here longer. It's true that he will never be forgotten, and I don't feel like, I feel like he was, but I also feel like he wasn't appreciated enough when he was here. He deserves more than this shitty fucking world. He deserves more than this world. And I just hope wherever he is now that he is so much more happy. Rest in peace, little Bo Peep. I love you so much. Oh my god, look, I look like a creepy. What the fuck? Yeah. I found him in such, I mean, it is always going to be like that, but I found him in such a strange, I found him in such a dark place in my life, and it's like, feels wrong. I feel like, I don't know.